Manal, I think, at least as far as I know, you're the only Egyptian techie and belly dancer rolled into one. How do you explain that?
Uh, well, if you met women, Egyptian women, they will know some
Belly
belly
dancers,
dancing. Yeah, like
and the chances that they are also techies.
there are a lot of girls who are really into technology and
I see.
working in companies, in software companies, but not so many women techies are doing community work or
I see.
social work.
So, you've been involved in web development in a big way on the free software side.
Again, say again.
You've been involved in web development. I mean, website development and things like that on the free software side. Why do you prefer free software and open source?
Well, my start was free software and open source was to switch to Linux,
Yeah.
and I switched to Linux because I like had a very bad time trying to do anything on Windows. So for me, Linux just worked fine, and I started learning from there and teaching myself, which was really fun to be able to like learn and explore stuff and then from there, I became very active in the Egyptian GNU Linux user group and started doing beginner
I
sessions
see.
and stuff like that, which was really fun. And I think these were like my first um, experiment in, or like my first, yeah, experience in training.
How big is the Egyptian GNU Linux user group and how active?
Well, the website will have like maybe 3,000 users or something
I
like
see.
that, but not so many of the users are active in doing real life activities. So maybe at a time you'll find between 20 to 40 volunteers who will do seminars, workshops, install fests, and
I see.
go to universities and stuff like that. And it also depends on what year. Like we started in 2004, we had a group of people who were still students,
Yeah.
but when these people got employed, they became not very active. They had less time for work,
I see.
so a new generation came. But it depends.
You've been active in supporting civil society and NGOs and human rights in Egypt. How come? How did that happen?
Well, activism and human rights has always been part of my life because my father is a human rights activist
I
and
see.
my mother, she's a women's rights activist.
I see.
So, like, this has been how I was brought up. So I was always interested in some issues, but I knew that I didn't want this to be my job. I was so interested in technology. So I'm very lucky to be able to
Match
like
the two.
work, yes, mix the two sides. So to work with technology and help people in using technology in human rights work and advocacy work, and so it's
Uh,
been empowering.
as far as your own interest in WordPress and Drupal go,
I am a Drupal girl.
yeah,
So I just love Drupal, and I think it's like a Lego.
I
I
see.
love building
It's
small things
I
with
see.
it, and yeah. So for me, it's such a very nice toy, and I love building various websites with it. And this is where my experience is. I've been working as
I
a
see.
web development for 3 years. WordPress, I worked a little bit with it, helped few people fix something on their blogs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm not very acquainted with all its features.
Egypt has a very strong blogging community, and you all have also been part of it, building the aggregator and things like that. Could you tell us a bit of why it is so important in Egypt? Why blogs are so important?
Uh,
Some numbers first.
yes. Let me start. We were from the early people who started blogging in Egypt. So by end of 2004 and 2005, they were like 40 or 50 blogs. And every month this will multiply.
I see.
So in the beginning, it was people started to socially know each other, and to build friendships and work on how to increase the community. We also had the Egyptian blogs aggregator, which was really a very central point of the Egyptian blogosphere, because you would always go there and check the
I see.
websites and the new blog posts and even new blogs. And this aggregator was run by me and Ale, my
Yeah,
husband,
yeah.
and we were inclusive, so we would add any Egyptian blog,
Regardless of political differences and
regardless of political, yeah, of whatever, even
yeah,
if it's not about, if it's a personal blog, if
yeah.
it's a any blog we would add, even for expats but who are living in Egypt,
Yeah,
we would
yeah.
add for Egyptians who are living abroad.
I see.
So we are trying to be as inclusive as possible, but now we cannot do it anymore because the blogs have multiplied, and now it's about 80,000
I see.
Egyptian blog,
Wow.
active blog.
These figures are from Technorati or
No, actually, the 80,000 blog is a statistical
I see.
survey that was done by one of the IT government
I
institutes,
see.
but it was presented in a conference, and
Sounds reasonable.
yeah, they explained the methodology and
I see.
everything.
I see.
Yeah, I just want to point that these are the 80,000 blogs are the active ones.
I see.
There are like as
Oh,
much
wow.
as them
Inactive.
not very active.
Okay.
So this is very like processing intensive. We cannot run an aggregator that checks all these
Yeah,
blogs.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for now we have 2,000 blogs,
Oh
only
wow.
2,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's quite a job. Thanks so much for all the inputs you've given us and
Thank you.
thank you.